Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening. It is the 13th day of May 2026, and it's the On the Mark program here on the Eastern Caribbean Powerhouse once again. Of course, we're here every Wednesday evening from 8 until 10, 2 hours of commercial-free talk show. And of course, I'm sure by now you realize that it's not the regular host this evening. The Honorable Mark Brantley is not available this evening. However, I am here with you, the Honorable Evelyn, and I'll be with you until 10 o'clock. And so I want to say good evening to all of the folks who are in tune to the Eastern Caribbean Powerhouse Vaughan Radio, 860 on your AM dial, www.vaughanradio.com. And we are ready to go for another edition of On the Mark. Of course, this is a very widely listened to show, very, very popular. And I want to greet all who are listening in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, in the region, in the diaspora, wherever you are. We greet you, and we are so happy. We are so delighted that you have decided once again on this lovely Wednesday evening to be a part of the On the Mark program, to listen. I know a lot of persons are glued to their radios, glued to their telephones, whatever. If you're glued to Facebook, whatever you're doing, I know you're glued because you want to get in on the action, hear what is happening here on beautiful Nevis, and of course get a taste of what we have to offer from On the Mark. And of course later on, of course, you know, you can always call in. Our numbers are 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. And so I greet you once again from the On the Mark program. I ask you to be with us, stay with us for the entirety of the program, stay with us until 10 o'clock. We have a lovely show lined up for you as usual, and so we are asking you to call your neighbor, call your friend, call your family, tell them On the Mark is on the radio, tune in. And of course, whether you're listening via radio, whether you're watching on Facebook, we greet you, and we are so delighted. We are so happy to have you with us on this lovely evening. Once again, I said it's the 13th day of May, and the year is going swiftly by. We are almost halfway there. Could you imagine? And it's just like yesterday we were saying Happy New Year, but now we are almost in the middle of May, and next month we'll be halfway through 2026. Unbelievably. All right, a little later on I'm going to have two guests with me, and of course we have quite a bit of things to get through just before I have my guests with me. And so of course, we know at the top of the show we normally greet the folks who might be celebrating, and I want to take this opportunity right now to greet a very special person who is celebrating 101 years today. That person is Miss Evelyn Brown over there in beautiful Prospect. Miss Brown, I was there last year when you celebrated your 100th birthday, and I can't believe a year has gone by so quickly. You have made it to 101, so I want to congratulate you on this milestone of 101 years. And I know that your children are taking excellent care of you, and I want to congratulate you on reaching 101 years, and I say kudos to the children for doing such a marvelous job, and I hope they will continue to do such a good job to take care of our lovely Miss Evelyn Brown over there in Prospect, who made 101 years today. And if there's anyone else who is celebrating today, if you're celebrating tomorrow, if you've celebrated earlier this week, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. If you've celebrated already, I trust that you had a wonderful day. If you're celebrating today, hope you had a great day so far, and continue to enjoy what's left. Of course, as I always say, celebrate in style. However you want to celebrate, do it your way. Just celebrate. Life is meant to be celebrated, and with all that is happening nowadays, we ought to celebrate when we have a birthday. If you're celebrating tomorrow, the rest of the week, advanced birthday greetings to you. Hope you're going to have a wonderful time. Those of you who are in the bereaved column, we say condolences to you. And of course, we know quite a lot of persons have been, quite a lot of families have been in the bereaved column throughout the past couple of weeks and the past couple of months. And we say condolences to you if you are in the bereaved column. And of course, we always greet those persons who are not feeling so well, those who are a little bit under the weather, those of you who are in the hospitals, those of you who are in the Flamboyant Nursing Home or the St. George and St. John Citizens Home, we greet you as well, because we do have listeners in these institutions. And so we greet you, and of course we greet those who are taking such wonderful care of you. And of course at the Alexandra Hospital, we greet all of the patients there as well. We greet the nurses and all of the staff there. And as we talk about the nurses, this is Nurses Week, and I want to greet the lovely nurses, the hard-working nurses we have here on the island of Nevis, nurses further afield. Yesterday was International Nurses Day, and I want to say belated International Nurses Day to all of the nurses, particularly those here on the island of Nevis. I understand that you had a church service at the Methodist Church in Charlestown last evening. I humbly apologize. I was at another function at NEPAC, deputizing for the Premier. They had the Tourism Youth Congress, so I had to be at that function, or else I would have been with you at your church service last evening at the Methodist Church. So nurses, I humbly apologize for my absence last evening. I understand you had a good service, and I trust that you'll have a wonderful rest of the week for Nurses Week. Of course, we know that our nurses do yeoman service, and we can't pay them for the excellent service that they do. And of course we want to say happy Nurses Week to all of the nurses. Wherever you see the nurses this week, please reach out, show them some love, give them some love, and let us continue to support and show love and support to our nurses. So once again, happy Nurses Week to all of the nurses. I trust that all of your activities for this week will go well, and may the Lord continue to strengthen you and bless you as you continue to do such wonderful, take such wonderful care of the patients when they are at the Alexandra Hospital, or whether you are in the community nursing service. Wherever you are, nurses, happy Nurses Week. Thank you so very much for your service. As I said, quite a lot to cover before we get our guests in. At this point in time, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Culturama Secretariat, and in particular as well the Senior Pageants Committee. Of course, 2 weeks ago we would have had the launch, or the reveal, sorry, of our senior contestants for the senior pageants. That's the Miss Culture contest, the Miss Culture swimwear contest, and the Mr. Cool competition. And of course we would have had that reveal at the picturesque and lovely Pennis Beach, and of course the area was just so fantastic, so well suited to that activity. I want to commend the organizers for deciding to take the activity to Pennis Beach. It was such a sight when we had the sunset in the background of the contestants, and of course we realized that we are off to a pretty early start this year. And so I want to commend the Senior Pageants Committee, commend the workers at the Culturama Secretariat for doing a marvelous job so far in ensuring that we have the reveal of the contestants, so the members of the general public, they can get an early look at our contestants, and they're going to decide who they're going to be rooting for. Of course, we have 5 contestants for Miss Culture pageant. We have 5 contestants for the Miss Culture swimwear, and we have 4 participants for the Mr. Cool competition. I think all of the participants did very well all of the contestants did very well at the reveal, and I am anticipating some very competitive shows for Culturama 52. I want to take this opportunity to wish all of the contestants and the participants every success. Of course, we want to thank all of our sponsors once again for being on board, and of course thank to the hard-working committee, and in particular in this instance the Senior Pageants Committee, for coming out early. Of course, before that we would have had we would have released our Culturama slogan, we would have released our Culturama jingle, our Culturama video and everything. So we are off to a pretty early start, and we are anticipating a great Culturama 52 this year. Next up, I want to say as well, I want to congratulate the Concerned Citizens Movement, the CCM, my party, the party that always says people matter most. This past Sunday was Mother's Day, and we had an awesome activity, an awesome event at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. We had that similar event last year at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, and we decided to host it again in 2026. And what a marvelous event that was. We were scheduled to start at 2, go until 7. We went until probably around 8 o'clock, and the turnout was excellent despite the weather. Actually, I was a little nervous on Sunday morning when I was heading there for the setup. That was around between 10 and 11. There was some heavy rain from Gingerland all the way into Charlestown. And I was saying to myself, people in Nevis don't like to go out when rain falls. But trust me, persons came out in their numbers. The mothers, their children, some of them brought their spouses, and other persons came, and they had a marvelous time. We had lots to eat, lots to drink. We had our usual massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, for free. Okay? For free. Persons came and they did not have to pay. So you were able to get your free massage, free pedicure, free manicure, free facial. And persons left very, very pleased. The feedback from the event has been overwhelmingly positive, and we want to thank all persons who braved the weather and came out in their numbers to be a part of the Concerned Citizens Movement activity for Mother's Day. We wanted to salute the mothers. We wanted our mothers to feel special on that day, and I believe that they left the MGR Park happy, feeling special, and feeling loved, feeling pampered based on what unveiled there at the Malcolm Gishard Park. Apart from the facials and so on, we had lots of giveaways. Giveaways in terms of manicures, pedicures, gas vouchers, food vouchers, gift baskets. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And those of you who did not show up, those mothers who did not show up, I think you missed something. And I mean, all week I've been hearing compliments about the activity and how pleased people were about attending that activity on Sunday. I want to commend all of the members of the team of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Everyone pulled their weight, and we pulled off a magnificent activity there at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. I want to thank all those who came out in their numbers to be a part of the event, and I'm happy that you had a good time. I'm happy that the good reviews keep rolling in, and we will continue to look out to salute our mothers. As I indicated, our mantra in the Concerned Citizens Movement is people matter most. I want to commend as well, as I'm talking about the activity there at the Malcolm Gishard Park, those guys who were on the grill, they did an awesome job. The Honorable Alexis Jeffers, the Honorable Troy Liebert, King Astro, they did an amazing job on the grill there at the Malcolm Gishard Park on Sunday. All in all, it was an amazing activity, and as I said, I personally thought that the weather would dampen things. That did not happen. People wanted to come out and show their support, show their love for the party, and we were happy people came. And we from the Concerned Citizens Movement, we were able to show them love and show them that we are the party that is for them and for the people of Nevis, for the development of the island of Nevis. So once again, mothers and all who turned out on Sunday, thank you so much for coming out. It was our pleasure. It was the pleasure of the Concerned Citizens Movement to put on this magnificent activity for you. And of course, every year it gets better, because persons who attended this year are saying, well, it was better than last year. The turnout was better than last year. And, we continue to look out for you. And so you can look forward to another classy event again in 2027. So kudos and congratulations to the Concerned Citizens Movement. I'm doing a lot of kudos and congratulations tonight because I also want to at this time to take this opportunity to go down to our neighbor Anguilla, beautiful Anguilla, and I want to say what a pleasure it was to be there last week to attend the agricultural exhibition put on by the Ministry of Natural Resources there in Anguilla. Of course, we know that we celebrated our 30th anniversary of the Agri Expo earlier this year in March. We would have extended the invitation, and persons from Anguilla came to attend, including the Parliamentary Secretary, Honorable Cordell Richardson. And of course, when they extended the invitation to us, we decided we have to reciprocate. And so I'm happy that I was able to go. The Assistant Secretary, Mrs. Rosil Gaskill, she also was there. The Director of Agriculture, Mr. Randy Elliott, was also present at the exhibition in Anguilla. And I must say it was an impressive event, very impressive event. And we were so happy and so delighted that we came to be a part of that activity there in Anguilla. Of course, we know that the Department of Agriculture in Nevis and the Department of Anguilla, the Department of Agriculture in Anguilla, we've had a fantastic relationship over the past years, and that relationship continues to strengthen. Of course, we know that in the past couple of years we've had visits from delegations from Anguilla who come here to see what we are doing. They are normally quite impressed when they come to Nevis to see what is happening on the island of Nevis, and they feel inspired. I know that the agricultural exhibition in Anguilla, sometimes it doesn't happen every year. Sometimes they take a break, but they came to Nevis. They were inspired. Of course, before they came, they decided they were going to have the agricultural exhibition this year, and I must say I was impressed with the quality of produce that I saw. I was impressed with the organization. The turnout was good. The participation was excellent as well, and I must say that I think this augurs well for building on that event. The passion is there. The passion is there from the ministerial level down to the department staff, and I can see that that event will continue to build, that event will continue to grow, and so I was very happy to be there. Of course, we know that we have a lot of divisions living in Anguilla, and so every time I go to Anguilla, I meet everywhere I turn there are divisions, and I was happy to see divisions on the grounds there last Friday to support the agricultural exhibition. As a matter of fact, I could recall when I was traversing the grounds there on Friday, I saw a St. Kitts Nevis flag, and of course, you know, once I see that, I'm going to gravitate to that area, and I there by that flag, there was a lady wearing a St. Kitts Nevis shirt as well. Went over, she was one of the vendors, she was selling goat water, she was selling cook-up. Her father, I think she's probably born there, her father is from Nevis, from Zetlands area. I went and I spoke to them, and I decided, well, listen, I have to come and so I have to go and support this young lady, you know, with her goodies. But I made a circle, and by the time I got back to her stall, just a little after 12, to go and support her, all of her cook-up gone, all of her goat water gone. When I said, what happened to the goat water, she said, you ain't see the empty pot there on the ground. And I couldn't believe in that short space of time that she would have sold off all of what she had. She still had some other stuff, but the cook-up and the goat water were all gone. So it was indeed a lovely event. I want to congratulate the Honourable Minister Kyle Hodge, the Parliamentary Secretary, Honourable Cordell Richardson, and I want to congratulate my very good friend, the outgoing Director of Agriculture, Mr. William Vanterpool, who has been apparently working with the government, working with the department for about close to 40 years. And that is some serious service. I think by now he has retired. I think he was supposed to retire on Monday. And so he wanted to go out in a bang, which he did. And so this was supposed to be his final major event. And my good friend, Mr. Vanterpool, kudos to you and your staff. You outdid yourself. You outdid yourself, and I must say, as I said, it was an impressive event, and congratulations and kudos to you for a job very, very well done. I must say that the Department of Agriculture and the Ministry of Agriculture in Nevis will continue to collaborate with our brothers and sisters in Anguilla, and whatever we can do to assist, we will be very willing to do that. Of course, during the trips that they have made here to Nevis as well, we have had discussions in terms of possible trade between Anguilla and Nevis in terms of what we grow here, what we produce here in terms of fresh produce, in terms of processed products, in terms of meat products and so on. And so the conversation continues between Nevis and Anguilla. And whatever we can do, I pledge once again, whatever we can do from our standpoint here on the island of Nevis, Anguilla, we are ready to be with you. We are ready to stand with you. And as I said, it was very impressive, and we know that you will continue to build on this activity, and your activity will get only better and better. As I said, I was impressed with the quality of the produce that I saw. The quality of the produce that I saw in the field was quite good as well. And keep up the great works. Continue with the passion, and you are definitely going to go places. So kudos and commendation to my good friends there at the Ministry of Natural Resources, which includes agriculture, there in Anguilla. Now, quite a lot has been happening here on the island of Nevis as well. Of course, we know that this month is always a packed month. I don't know why so many things happen in the month of May, but this is always a very packed month. This month of May is also Tourism Awareness Month, or what they call Exposition Nevis. And last evening, the Ministry of Tourism had an activity which they have been hosting every year, the Tourism Youth Congress, and we had 6 persons that was held at NEPAC, and we had 6 persons taking part in that competition. We had 3 students from the Charlestown Secondary, 3 students from the Gilgillan Secondary. I want to commend all of the students. From the Charlestown Secondary, we had Rondre Daniel, we had Fantasia Stobie and Excellence Nisbet. And from the Gilgillan Secondary, we had Jeremiah Adai, Ajerne Hodge, and Alison Guichard. It was an excellent competition, very competitive. I was very impressed with all of the presentations from all 6 participants. And let me stick a pin here, and as I said, it is the Bank of Nevis. I don't want my good friend Denrick Leiber to get upset with me. So it is and I don't want Melissa to get upset with me either. So it is the Bank of Nevis Tourism Youth Congress, because it is sponsored by the Bank of Nevis. Of course, we know that the Bank of Nevis is celebrating 40 years. And the Bank of Nevis is like a household name on Nevis now. And so I have to give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Bank of Nevis. Thank you, Denrick and your team, for sponsoring the Tourism Youth Congress once again. And Denrick has actually pledged that next week the sponsorship may even go up. And so, as I said, it was a very, very keen competition. The competition went extremely well. And I want to commend all of the 6 participants. At the end of the competition, though, this was the results from the judges. In the 3rd position was Ajerne Hodge of the Gilgillan Secondary. 2nd position, Alison Guichard from the Gilgillan Secondary. And the winner, the new Tourism Bank of Nevis Tourism Youth Minister, is Rondre Daniel of the Charlestown Secondary School. So we congratulate the top 3 students, and we congratulate all 6 students for doing an outstanding job, and of course representing themselves, representing their schools exceptionally well last evening there at NEPAC. And only today we had another event. We had the Gender Affairs Department hosting the Boys of Excellence Award. Of course, we know for the past couple of years we have been honoring a boy from each of the secondary and primary schools for International Day of the Boy Child. And so we had this lovely event today at the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park. And let me just highlight the boys who were honored today for the Boy of Excellence Award. And the boys who were honored were from the Cicely Brown Integrated School. We had Kyron Hendrickson. We had Ezra Hanley from the Ivor Walters Primary. We had Kamari Reed, who is my godson. Congratulations to you, Kamari. Kamari Reed from the Maud Cross Preparatory. Naeem Morton from the Montessori Academy. Kajan Powell from the Nevis Academy. Jalik Chambers from the Charlestown Primary. Israel Webb from the St. Thomas's Primary, Hazel Otley from the St. James Primary, Elvon Herbert from the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary, Teadron Truss from the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary, Aaron Dalgett from the Joycelyn Libert Primary, Cleston Bartlett from the Gingerland Secondary, Kimani Newton from the Charlestown Secondary, and Jediah Carter from the Nevis International Secondary School. I want to salute these 14 boys for being selected to receive the awards this year, and we should always salute our young boys when they do well, because of course we know that over the years we know that a lot of the times our boys get in trouble. There are so many distractions out there for our young boys, and when our young boys shine, we must salute them and we must put the spotlight on them. And they had some very impressive when the profiles were read of these boys. Very, very impressive. So congratulations to the boys, congratulations to the parents of these children, congratulations to the teachers who are teaching these children, congratulations to other persons who are a part of their lives, who are ensuring that they remain on the straight and narrow. And so I want to say heartiest congratulations to these 14 boys. And you know, it was so good today because we had the Boys of Excellence awards, and other boys were highlighted, and I want to highlight three other young men as well, because we had Mr. Young AJ Samuel, who did a rendition, a Bob Marley rendition, One Love, right? And AJ is a boy of excellence from last year from the Cicely Brown Integrated School. And AJ did a tremendous job in that rendition. We also had someone who is a mentee from the Boys Mentorship Program in Donovan Libert from the Joycelyn Libert, from the Gingerland Secondary, who did the vote of thanks. And very, 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 very impressive. I must give kudos and commendation, and I hope I'm going to call the name correctly, Jelai France of the Nevis Academy. Now, this young man read the profile of the person who was going to be the guest speaker, right? And when I sat there and I listened to this young man read the profile, and he was so eloquent, a primary school student, it shows that we have talent, and we have when we have these young boys, especially at the primary and the secondary level, when they shine like that, we must big them up. And I really want to big up young Jelai France. I mean, I was just in awe that he could read this profile so eloquently, not one mistake, pronounce the words so expertly, and I was wondering if he practiced reading this profile. He was just so good, and I was there wondering, is this a primary school student? Is this a primary school student? I had to reach over to the Deputy Governor General, and I had to say, this young man can read so very well, you know. And so I want to congratulate all the boys who shone so brightly today. As I said, I congratulate the Boys of Excellence, the 14 boys from the 14 schools who were there, and once again, kudos to you for doing an amazing, amazing, amazing job. Thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations to you. I had to give kudos to not only to the Boys of Excellence, but of course as well to those three boys who also took part in the award ceremony today. Time is going very quickly. This month, as I said, it's a packed month. It's also Agriculture Awareness Month. And very quickly, before I get my guests to start speaking to me and to start speaking to the listeners and those who are viewing on social media, I'm going to quickly play my address for Agriculture Awareness Month so people could be aware of what is happening during this month of May for Agriculture Awareness Month. As I said, it's a lot happening this month. Of course, we know we're coming off of a high from our 30th edition of the Agri Expo, and this is also the 14th edition of Agriculture Awareness Month. So let's give a listen quickly to the Agriculture Awareness Month address.
Fellow citizens and residents, I am pleased to greet you on this the observance of Agriculture Awareness Month 2026, this being our 14th edition. This initiative commenced in 2013, and it is a package of events that the Ministry and the Department look forward to hosting. Agriculture Awareness Month, from its onset, seeks to bring added awareness to the importance of agriculture to the development of the island, as well as to place the spotlight on an industry that has made significant strides over the past few years. The month of activities also seeks to build morale within the ministry and at the same time strengthen the relationship between the Department of Agriculture, its partners, farmers, as well as members of the general public. Agriculture Awareness Month also provides an ideal opportunity for the Department of Agriculture to continue to place emphasis on the need to eat more of what we grow and grow more of what we eat. The observance of Agriculture Awareness Month comes closely on the heels of the staging of the hugely successful 30th edition of the sub-region's premier exhibition, Agri Expo, hosted during the period March 26th and 27th. The feedback from the Expo has been overwhelmingly positive, and we are now seeking through this month of activities to build on that high. Our month of activities is being celebrated under the theme, Rooted in History, Utilizing Land and Sea. The theme reflects on the importance the Ministry and the Department of Agriculture place on the rich history of our island and the significant part that agriculture plays in that history. It also reminds us that we must continue to utilize both land and sea in order to capitalize on the gains we have made in the agricultural sector. The economy of Nevis was partly built on a robust agricultural sector that has evolved over the years and still holds tremendous significance for the development of the island. One of the most critical and important resource for a successful and vibrant agricultural sector is our land. We are living in an era where it is not just about land use, it is about wise use of that resource which is fast becoming limited. It is about ensuring that our land use practices are sustainable and climate smart if we are to maximize the returns from this precious resource. As we speak of land utilization, we must also be cognizant of the fact that the use of technology is also of paramount importance if we are to benefit from optimum yields from both crop and livestock production. Proper management and use of the sea is equally important as we take advantage of the gains we have made in the marine sector. We are all aware of how important the ocean is to providing us with protein, but also to support a livelihood for our fishers. It is incumbent on us, therefore, that we engage in practices that all maintain and increase marine stocks. We commenced our month-long observance with a church service at the Charlestown Wesleyan Holiness Church this past Sunday, May 3rd. We thank the pastor and members for the very warm welcome, and the service was indeed a blessing. Other activities include a training workshop in sweet potato weevil management to be hosted in collaboration with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, on May 13th. Enhancement work on the Memorial Square in Charlestown from May 18th to the 22nd. A workshop on small ruminant management on the 20th. Also on Friday 20th, the Vet and Livestock Division will host their open house. During the period May 26th to the 29th, there will be fruit tree and seedling distribution. And there will be a special offer during the period May 6th to 29th, when farmers and backyard gardeners could take advantage of discounts on biostimulants and selected seeds. I encourage farmers, in particular, to support the month of activities and to attend the training sessions that have been organized. Let me take this opportunity to extend Happy Agriculture Awareness Month to the staff of the Ministry and the Department of Agriculture, as well as all of our partners, farmers, and stakeholders. During this, our Agriculture Awareness Month, let us continue to build on the gains we have made in the agricultural sector. Let us continue our food security drive. Let us support local. Let us eat local. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the agricultural industry, our staff, all involved in this all-important industry, and our beloved island of Nevis. Thank you, and God bless us all.
All right, that was my little address for Agriculture Awareness Month. As I indicated, this month is really, really packed. May and October, those 2 months are always overwhelmed with activities. I don't know why so many things happen in May, so many things happen in October, but those 2 months in particular. Just wanted to make one little correction there with my address. The Vet and Livestock Open Day is actually on Friday the 22nd, not the 20th. So it is actually on Friday. It's a Friday, but it's the 22nd and not the 20th. So far things have been going well, and we ask the persons to continue to support. And so, as I said, we are having a lot of things happening in the month of May, and that is one of the reasons why I have 2 guests with me this evening. It's always a pleasure to have guests in the house. It gets a little lonely when I'm here by myself, and so I'm always happy when I can have a guest or guests with me, and I'm fortunate that I have 2. I could remember, I think it was last year, I had one of the guests here with me, and we had such a good time, and I'm happy that she is back this year, and she has brought company this time with her. And so I'm going to give them the opportunity now to introduce themselves, and of course a little later on, of course, as we continue our discussion, persons who are listening and who may want to ask them questions, you can feel free to do so a little later on. So I'm going to give my 2 guests an opportunity now to introduce themselves.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Denise Smithen from the Department of Community Development.
Good night. My name is Gail Gwynaway from the Department of Community Development.
Thank you very much, ladies, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Miss Smith, and I know it's not your first time. You're not a stranger to the microphone. I know you're not shy in any way, but is this your first time, Miss Greenaway, to Vaughan Radio?
No, my second time.
Oh, your second time, so you're not new either. Well, I'm happy we don't have any rookies here tonight. So both of you are accustomed to the microphone, so it is indeed a pleasure to have both of you. And maybe what you can do now, you can just tell us what is your role in the department, both of you.
So I am the director at the Department of Community Development.
And I am the community officer in the center manager, in the Department of Community Development.
Okay, thank you very much. Gail, Miss Greenaway, you said you're a center manager. So what you normally do in terms of managing? You said you're a center manager, and I believe you're based in Banscott, right? Am I correct?
Banscott and Cotton Ground.
Okay, so tell us what some of the activities that you do when you're there on a daily basis.
Well, we had the health. We had the health fair where both of the health and the Department of Community Development tag team together, and it was 2 weeks for the Easter over at Jessup Community Center.
Okay.
We had a great time with healthy eating with the children, ITAL, and we cooked food, just healthy eating food.
Children actually eat the ital and they enjoyed it?
Yes, they did.
Because I know the ital doesn't have any salt. So I'm surprised that the young children would be gravitating to the ital. All right. Good. Miss Smithon, you're here. Tell us, maybe you can remind members of the general public, those listeners, those who are watching on Facebook, what is your department responsible for? What do you do?
Okay, so before I answer that, I just wanted to piggyback on what Mrs. Greenaway was speaking about, the Camp Health we had in collaboration with Health Promotion Unit, and that was from April 7th to the 16th, and it was wonderful. We had about 32 or so participants, and they learned healthy eating habits, they learned about nutrition and macro and micronutrients, they had some physical activities, and so it was a really good camp, and it was impactful. Gail would have also been instrumental in some of the activities and initiatives in the community, and she's very instrumental in the Banscott Breadfruit Festival, and she continues to do well in that, and I must commend her. And also the Banscott Christmas tree lighting, she also works with the community to get that done as well, and so she plays a very instrumental role in the community, and she continues to work with them to get the stuff that we need to be done to happen in the centers, respectively Cotton Ground and Banscott. So I just wanted to add that, because sometimes she doesn't toot her horn, but I'm going to toot it, right? So in terms of our department, we of course manage the community centers, manage the programs, and within the centers, and we try to collaborate and work with various community groups, NGOs and non-profits to facilitate their needs, and we would identify some problems or whatever issues and try our best to solve them. We are also very instrumental in several community festivals around the island of Nevis, and last year we would have attempted to introduce the Sorrel Festival, and that was with a community group in the Camps area. We do the Banscott Breadfruit Festival, of course the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival. We have the Bread Nut Affair coming up. We're trying to of course we do the Christmas Cultural Market, and several others, and then we also do skills training and capacity building, where we have skill facilitators come and teach persons various skills that they can now use and impart, whether in their daily lives or if they want to start a business, entrepreneurship, or if they just want to do like something on the side, like something part-time to supplement their income. And we help community groups, like if you are interested in doing like a proposal, if you want funding, we try our best to help facilitate that process. So one of the things we would have been instrumental in is last year the FADS training workshop that Jessup's community management group would have been able to host. We assisted them with getting funds from the Jeff Small Grants program, and through those funds they were able to host that workshop and deploy 2 FADs in the ocean, and we were happy to have the Department of Marine Resources on board as well to assist us with that, because that would not have been possible without them. And then they would have received funding to facilitate the Jessup Seafood Fiesta, and that was a hit last year, and it was even better this year. And so we try our best to work with groups, and not only groups but NGOs, non-profits, churches, schools, you name it. We also go out into the community and try to teach dances here and there. Sandra Brown is the person responsible for that, and she does a good job so that we can do our part when it comes to culture. We also have our steel pram program that is going strong. We have a lot of groups, about 4 groups under our purview, and then we also facilitate the senior steel pram program as well. and so much more that I can't think of.
I must commend the department and must commend you in terms of the excellent work that you all have been doing. You just touched on something there that, you know, has really been, you know, been revolutionized here on Nevis, and that is steel pan music.
Yes.
Right? I know we have a steel pan program at NCDF, but you also have a steel pan program at the community development department as
Yes.
well. And that program has really done an amazing job in getting a lot of our young people involved. Only recently I had a conversation with someone in person who was saying that I hope that the young people will continue this passion that they have
Yes.
for steel pan music, because I mean, it seems as if everybody wants to learn steel pan music now. I don't know how the program in community development got started. I don't know if you are, maybe you can tell us how did you all get involved in steel pan, because I said, I mean, this is more like a culture thing. So how did the community development get involved in the steel pan program?
So
and to have gotten so far that you have groups that are taking part, going to St. Kitts taking part, coming second in St. Kitts, doing very well. How did community development get involved in the steel pan program?
So several years ago, and it was before my time, they would have the department or Ministry of Social Development at that time under the late Mr. Keith Glasgow would have facilitated a project, and they were able to receive some funds. I want to believe it's from UNESCO. I can be wrong, but I think it was from UNESCO. It was a UNESCO funded project, and through that program they were able to procure steel pans through that, and then that's where it started. And then Mr. Patterson came on board as the community development officer with responsibility for steel pan tutoring, and then it has grown. I realized that, well, initially they were playing at like community group activities and, you know, little activities in the community, whatever we are hosting, especially during Christmas. But we realized after a while that they wanted to compete, they wanted to put in that work, and they had passion to showcase their talent. They love performing for persons, but they also want to compete. And so that's something that I have noticed over the years. They want to be involved, they want to take part in the Culturama Panorama competition, and they want to go to perform in St. Kitts for the Panorama competition there as well. So they are heavily involved in that, the competition aspect of it, and they always mention to me every time I see them, I love competing. Some of them would also say, you know, of course we need steel pans and we are working on that, and hopefully sooner rather than later we can have that done. But nevertheless, we make use of what we have, and it has been going very good. And I must commend the children, especially there's a gentleman who I really admire, Tevez Taylor, I think that's his name. He's very good, he's very passionate as well. Anthony Movin, and there's some others who continue to work well with Mr. Patterson and the other CDOs to do what they have to do to give the groups more visibility, and they are forced to be reckoned with. And they continue to really exceed my expectations. You know, when you see them perform, when you see them moving back and forth, and the drive and the passion, it's really good to see that.
Well, actually, I am extra proud. I'm always beaming when I see the steel pan groups, because you may not know, I mean, you just spoke about the late Keith Glasgow, but you're correct. It was a grant from UNESCO, and it was under the late Premier, the late Vance Emery, Honorable late Vance Emery, and the Honorable Vance Emery had put a committee together. I was a part of that committee, you know, so I was there from the beginning. I was there from the onset, you know. So now that I've seen the program grow so tremendously, I am extra proud. I could remember at that time the Premier's office was up at Bath Hotel, and we would have met up there several times to discuss this program, to discuss what we're going to do, and you know, that is how it started. So I'm really very over the moon when I see the results of the program, and to see that it started so simply with this grant, and then that this program has just blossomed.
Yes.
So I'm really very happy, and kudos and commendation to you and community development and all of the persons who have been involved in training the steel pan players and the young steel pan players who have emerged as such excellent players now. So kudos and congratulations to you. Now, earlier on you mentioned, because later on we're going to be discussing your month of activities. Activity by activity, but earlier on you mentioned that your department is responsible for community groups, and unfortunately community groups are scarce on the island of Nevis now. What are you doing to encourage more groups to grow? Or more groups to be formed? I know it is difficult even when groups are formed to keep them maintained. I mean, I've been the president of a community group for probably 25 years or more now, and it is, trust me, it is difficult to keep the groups together. It is very difficult to keep the group together. Sometimes you organize meetings, people show up, sometimes people don't show up, sometimes the interest is there, people are everybody is busy nowadays. So I don't know, is it a struggle for your department in terms of community groups on the island? And if it is a struggle, what are you doing to overcome that struggle?
Yeah, so it is a struggle, and even before, like as a community development officer working in St. Thomas's Parish, there are some groups who are active and then there are some that are dormant, and so over the years we find that like we're planning a meeting and maybe only one or two show up, but we try to be positive, and we understand that persons are working more now. Some persons probably work 2 jobs, and even if they don't work 2 jobs, after you work all day you're tired. So what we try to do at the Department of Community Development is fill in that gap. We have the resources and the capacity to help where we can. So if for example, we would have tried to plan several activities and the group is the one spearheading it, but we try to fill in, maybe call and ask for a tent on their behalf or write a letter on their behalf, that type of thing, so that we can ease the burden from these groups. My goal for this year is to bring more groups together, have some activities where we can have them in a more relaxed setting and encourage them, and we also want to be in a position where we can reactivate some of our dormant groups, because we have some groups that are dormant. Sometimes when maybe the president, so for example, God forbid if something is, you go overseas for a long period of time, that's it, the group just dormant or inactive. So we are trying to encourage them to have a continuity plan, make sure they have somebody else in place who can take over if something is to happen to you, or if you're too busy or so on. And we try to make sure when persons come and sign up or register as a group that they have a full layout of the executive body and have at least several members, so that they can continue and not it be a case where one person is unavailable and everything falls flat. And so we have an event tomorrow, an activities that is aimed at community groups, and it's called Building Bridges Community Stakeholder Social, and the aim of that is to basically build that bridge, build that gap, and try to fill in that space. And we want it to be not only information sharing, but we want it to be fun and interactive. We find that persons don't want to hear a lecture, see a PowerPoint presentation now, so we're trying to find different creative ways to engage persons, give them information, receive information, but at the same time we achieve a goal. So it has been a challenge, yes, but we try our best, and the CDOs do try their best, and we try to make sure that they are included in whatever we do. And
members of the public may not know what you mean, may not understand when you say CDO what you mean.
Oh,
so.
sorry. Community Development Officer.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So the community development officers, they are responsible for engaging with the community groups, and we try our best to help. And as I said, when they're coming and they want to sign up, or if their group is dormant, we try to reach out to them and encourage them to come and upgrade their registration and gauge where they are at in terms of member and stuff like that. But one of the major issues is either work or somebody gone away and that's it, and that type of thing. But we try our best to still encourage, and the groups that are active, we also try to use them as a pilot or as an example of what we can aspire to, and I think that has helped. We were able to, there's a group that was able to do the Sorrel Festival last year, and we are hopeful that they can do it this year. So yeah, we'll be trying our best to work around certain things and be positive and make sure that we still be in touch with group members, and it has worked, but of course there's still room for improvement.
Fantastic. Ms. Greenaway, you have any community groups over in your area, in St. Thomas's, in Jessup's, in Banscott, in Cotton Ground?
Yes, over in Cotton Ground we have a group over there. They are the ones who is in charge of the Christmas tree lighting over there. Well, unfortunately, I tried to organize one at Banscott, but then most of the people living on the outside of Banscott. So when they finish working, they don't have the time. Jessup also have one.
Okay.
Yes.
And actually,
before we say anything else, I'm sorry. I think we miss out the jumbo sale that is part of the activity for May month, right?
Well, we come into the activities just now. We haven't missed it out because we come into the activities.
Yeah, okay.
And
but
sorry, the Nevis community-based rehabilitation advocates, they're based in Cotton Ground. That's a very active community group as well.
Okay. Yeah, and as Ms. Greenaway was saying, that like persons live outside of the community because, for example, my club, Empire Sports Club, we are based in Hanley's Road, but we don't limit our membership to persons living in Hanley's Road. So we actually have members who are not living in Hanley's Road, but they come to Hanley's Road when we are having the meetings. Of course, most of the members are from Hanley's Road, yes, but we do have members who are not from the village, and when we have meetings, they do come to the village. All right, Miss Smithon and Miss Greenaway, it's so good to have you. And of course, we know you're celebrating Community Development Month. I know you have a lot of activities planned for the month, and so maybe we can start to talk about each of them one by one, so you can let the members of the general public know, persons who are out there who may want to ask a question, who may want something clarified about an activity. Let us start now to talk about each of these activities for Community Development Month.
Okay, so we are celebrating Community Development Month, and the theme is empowering people, enriching lives, our community, our pride. And so we started with a church service at the Jessup's Methodist Church, and that was the first Sunday in the month, May 3rd. And May 4th, we had the Jessup Seafood Fiesta that was held by the Jessup's Community Management Group, and it was a major success. The turnout was really good, the food was amazing, and it went very well. And so I must commend Leander Cornelius, who is the center manager for Jessup's Community Center, and Tamara Farrell. She is the president of the Jessup's Community Management Team. Along with the community members, the committee members did an excellent job, and I was very pleased with the overall event.
Did you have any competitions this year? Because I know in the past you've had competitions like cooking competitions and so on. Did you have any competitions this year for the Seafood Fiesta?
This time we just had the Sprite drinking competition, and then we asked some general questions, and persons were able to win prizes. So we had 2 categories of the Sprite drinking competition, children and adults. Hopefully next year we can have a culinary competition of some sort, or some kind of cook-off or something for next year.
Okay, because I know, as I said, I've been to the festival a few times. Unfortunately, I was absent this year because I had another activity that I had to attend in my constituency on that Monday. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to come. But that is an activity that I have been impressed with over the years as well. I've been to it many times, and I mean the range of dishes that are there for the Seafood Fiesta is just amazing.
Yes,
I don't know how they come up with some of these dishes anyway, but it's really, really amazing, and I must commend your department and the organizers for every year ensuring that this activity is hosted and it gets even better and bigger every year.
Yes. And if you didn't go, you missed the food. It was delicious. I had a shrimp and lobster macaroni, well, mac and cheese, I think.
Wow,
it
that
was
sounds good.
really good, and the conch's water was delicious. And you know, I have to get the Johnny cake. I love Leander's Johnny cake. I can't never not. I can't do without that. But so yeah, the food was really, really good, and persons really came out and tried different things. There was wilks and lobster and shellfish and different variety of fish, and so overall it was really good. And they had live fish, so you could have gone and buy a fish or pet fish,
Okay.
and turtles, and so that was a nice touch.
Oh, so that's an addition, because I know that is not normally part of the right.
Yeah.
And you know that is normally a hit when we have our agricultural exhibition. That is a hit. Persons love buying their
The fish. Yes.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a really good event. After that, we have we had a hike, and that was on Saturday, May 9th. So that's Saturday gone, and we had about 30 something persons who came out and hiked. And I just want to register my thanks to Reggie Douglas for agreeing to do this hike with us. It was wonderful. He made sure that we were safe, even through the huffing and puffing and the the scary moments.
You mean you all got tired?
Yes.
Actually, I was invited to come on the hike, but I was in Anguilla at that time. I went to attend the agricultural exhibition there, so I was in Anguilla on Saturday morning when you did the hike, or else I would have been there
next time, because the participants had so much fun there, asking for another one. To Nevis Peak, though, I don't know if I could handle Nevis
Well, if they were
Peak.
huffing and puffing for that, for the waterfalls, what's going to happen if they try to go to Nevis Peak?
I think only me one been a huff and puff man.
Miss Greenaway, did you go?
No.
Why? You were not able to make it?
No.
You need to start going to the gym so you can go to the next hike, right?
And then, on Friday, this Friday, the New River Farmers Cooperative Society, they were supposed to have an open day, but due to unforeseen circumstances, they're going to postpone, and we are going to announce a later date as soon as we can. And so I just want persons to note that that event has been postponed until further notice. So tomorrow we have the stakeholder engagement, and it's a social, and we are inviting all community groups, whether you're a part of an NGO, non-governmental organization, non-profit, church, there are groups in churches, school, you name it, you come out, and it will be a fun evening. We will have some activities, light competition, and of course we'll have some information sharing, because we want to hear from you, and we want you to also tell us what is going on and how we can help. And then the evening will be closed off with some karaoke, and we are hoping that persons will not be afraid. We want you to let down your hair and have fun. So I'm hoping that you will start.
I will be there tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, and
I've
then
invited all the members of my club, so I hope some of them are going to come along with me tomorrow. But I definitely will be in attendance tomorrow at that event. I'm happy that you all are having this event, at least to bring out some of the community groups and so on, the church groups and so on. I'm talking about church groups. Do you all do a lot of work with the church groups as well?
Well, we not quite as much as I think we should, and that's something that we will look to for the future. We do work with like schools and so on, and of course I work with my church group, and we have persons in the different sectors who work with in the respective church groups. And so I am a part of a group called Girls with Hearts or something like that. We saw that the church was getting hot. That was last year during, it was really hot, and it's getting hot now again.
Yes.
And our church needed some fans, and so we would have been able to raise funds to get some fans installed at the St. Thomas's Anglican Church. And then through our raising of funds, other persons were able to donate as well and match that. And so it was good to see that, and I'm hoping to do more stuff like that. And then of course I work with the different church groups, of course, assist them, but of course there's room for improvement in that. But we work with schools, and we work with if you need any assistance, we are always here. Let's put it like that. So if you're a church group, and even if you're not connected with anybody at the department, feel free, they can call us. We do assist church groups if they need assistance with bookings and chairs and tables and stuff like that. So we are available and open to assisting all church groups.
And so tomorrow, I'm assuming even if you're not a member of a group and you're thinking
Yes.
of starting a group, you are welcome to
Yes.
attend the activity. Tell us where it's going to be held, what time it's going to be held tomorrow.
So it's going to be held at the Pun Hill Community Center, and it's going to start at 5 o'clock. And we are encouraging persons to come early so that we can start on time.
Mhm.
Yes, because we have a packed evening. Mr. Craig David will also be facilitating some of the activities, and so we're excited to have him on board, because I heard good things about him, and he's fun and interactive, and so we want that. We want it to be purposeful, but we want it to be fun. I know working with community groups is not easy. It's a lot of work, and especially when we're planning all of these activities and trying to get people together. So we want it to be a motivation and encouraging activity as well, so that persons can leave feeling refreshed and rejuvenated and hopefully inspired to go back in the community and continue doing the good work that they have been doing.
Fantastic. So that's tomorrow. So let's continue with the other activities for the month.
Yes, so we're having our annual jumbo sale that's going to be next week, Thursday and Friday.
The
And
dates?
the May 21st and May 22nd, and that's going to be at our department's main office, and we're going to have lots of items, household items, clothing and so on sale. And then our last event is the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival, and that's slated for Saturday, May 30th at the Malcolm Gishard Park, starting at 12 p.m.
And that is normally the big event.
Yes.
That's a huge event. How many times have you hosted this event before?
So this is going to be the third annual event. We hosted, the first time we had it was in 2024. That was our first year, and it has continued to grow every year, and I'm happy to see that persons are now coming on board. You know, in the first year, we have to call and so on. Persons are now coming to us and wanting to be a part of it, and we welcome them with open arms. And we are happy to have several countries on board this year. We have St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Philippines. We have several African nations. We also have Dominican Republic, St. Lucia, and several others. I want to make sure I get them right so that persons can know what to expect, because we have a packed event. We have several activities as well, but I want to make sure you know that we also have, for the first time this year, India and Japan, and so we're excited to see what's in store. Persons are already looking forward to the cuisine from India and Japan. So I think it's Nevis, Africa, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, the Philippines, Dominican Republic, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and India and Japan.
Now, Ms. Smithson, what inspired the department to host an activity of this nature?
So several years ago, I'm gonna give Jack the jacket and Jane the petticoat. Sandra Brown would have approached me about this event. We wanted, we usually have our activities like bread
next
food.
time just to stick a pin, next time you come in here, I want you to tie Sandra with either
And
a
that's
rope,
right.
either a rope or a
I
chain.
hope she's listening to hear.
I hope she's listening. Tie her with either a rope or a chain and pull her.
Yes.
Okay.
Next year, God's willing. I want her to come. I always ask. So hopefully next year, I'll get her to come next year by the grace of God. So she would have approached me, and we would have spoken about this event in length, and I thought it was a wonderful idea. Well, Nevis is a melting pot of different nationalities, persons from all walks of life. Even now you're seeing so many different faces. So people are migrating, and especially with CARICOM free movement and that, the OECS free movement and all of that, persons are coming to Nevis, and they love Nevis. I visited Barbados, and persons were like, I love Nevis, I want to come to Nevis to live. So people are here, and they enjoy the island. So we wanted to have this event to celebrate the diversity of culture that resides on the island of Nevis. And so I thought it was a good idea, and that's everything went from there. We sent up the information to our minister, Janelle Nisbet, and she loved it, and the rest is history. The first year was good, last year was great, and this year will be excellent because it has grown in strength, not only in terms of attendees, but vendors and persons who have shown a vested interest. And so, yeah, it has grown really good.
Well, I must say that I have been to the previous two events, and I was impressed, and I know that you all have put a lot of work into this thing, and as you indicated, it continues to grow and it continues to get better.
And not to cut you off, but now that you mention it, you were our first host. You were there from the get-go.
Yes.
So I have to, and you even when we couldn't find anybody to model the national wear, you willingly did it, and we were so grateful because all of that helped to create what we have today, you know. So I look back on the pictures all the time, and I remember, and I saw you and Monique Washington, and so yeah, you were there from the get-go. So I have to thank you for coming on board and willingly, you know, even as a minister, because you know sometimes people stop doing certain things, and you came and you willingly hosted throughout the whole day, and it was good. It was excellent. You went around to the booths and spoke to the various vendors and stuff like that, and it was good. So I have to just.
I will always be there to support.
Yes.
Whichever department wants me, I'm there to support. That's what I do all the time, right? And as you just spoke about the national wear, I was a little bit disappointed last year because I thought more people would have been there in the national wear. I don't know if this is something that you're trying to promote, that persons who are coming to the event, whether you're coming to represent St. Kitts Nevis, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica. I know Dominicans in particular, they're always very proud to wear their national wear to these kind of functions. And so maybe, I don't know if it's something that you do, that you encourage countries that are coming, tell the persons who are taking part, who are selling the food, and other persons who are coming, wear your national wear. So at least people can have a look, people can know what their national wear looks like, you know. And I think that that was an added activity when we were on stage with our St. Kitts Nevis national wear, myself and Monique, and I think we had from other countries that came up as well and did their national wear. And I mean, it's a bit of a learning process as well. So maybe that is something that you can probably try to encourage again, that persons come out in their national wear again this year. Yeah,
we try to encourage persons, the various countries, to come out and showcase their national wear and traditional wear. Some of them would have expressed certain issues, so I think that next year we would have to encourage them early. But of course, the materials and the cost and shipping and stuff like that. So there are some challenges in that, but we are hopeful. Well, we try to encourage them, and hopefully as time goes on, we can get them to come and showcase their national wear and stuff like that. So that's something that we would have tried, and we will have a child modeling a national wear for Dominican Republic, so that was good. But it has been a challenge getting that done, but we are, as time goes on, we are hopeful that we can get that, because even me, I wanted to wear the national wear throughout the day, but I think the heat is gonna be so I will forfeit that for this time. But we try to encourage persons to wear their national wear. I know a particular vendor said that she's trying to get some stuff from her country shipped to Nevis in time for the event.
And I know last year when I was there, I think the vendors did pretty well, because I think a lot of them sold out pretty quickly. You know, so I hope they're coming prepared this year. You know.
Yes. And Trinidad and Tobago especially, they sold out very quickly.
The roti and so on, they sold out
and
very
the doubles,
quickly.
People love the doubles.
You know, actually I was the first person to actually introduce doubles to Nevis.
Really?
Our department had a intercultural food fair once for World Food Day, right there on Market Street. And you know, one time when we had a meeting, I just decided, you know, doubles is so popular in Trinidad, I'm going to get somebody to send some doubles up, you know. And we got some we got somebody to get some doubles up from Trinidad, and people loved it.
I love doubles.
People loved it, because people always hear about doubles, but they had no idea what doubles were. And so we were able to get some doubles up from Trinidad, and you know, I didn't even realize doubles were there last year.
Yes, doubles were there, and people bought them up quickly. So he already knows now to come prepared and come with more. And I think he has doubles with saltfish. I saw a picture he had posted, Kenneth from Trinidad. He had doubles with saltfish, and so it seems like he will have different varieties as well. So we're excited about that, seeing what he has in store and the different vendors. I would want to quickly, so persons can know what to expect.
Sure, absolutely.
For that, I'm just going to give a brief overview of some of the menu items. So for
Sounds good.
Dominica, they'll be having smoked pork, smoked chicken, crab, callaloo, and smoked beef broth, and they're going to have ground provisions, rice, lentils, and so on. Guyana's menu, pepper pot, pelori, fried chicken, curry goat, egg balls, fried rice, pine hat, black pudding, white pudding. For the Caribbean grill, and that's the African nations, they're going to have jollof rice, fufu, egusi, chakalaka, gratin potatoes, nyama choma, grilled chicken leg, samosas, beef and saltfish. I love their samosas. It's really good. The Philippines, they're going to have spring rolls, spring rolls, vegetable spring rolls and pork spring rolls, chow mein, fried chicken. Persons seem to love and gravitate towards their fried chicken. They said it was better than KFC.
You're serious? That's for the Philippines, you said?
Yes.
Wow.
People love their fried chicken. Sio Pao, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dinujuan and adobo chicken. And yeah, Philippines menu was really good. Persons really love their chicken. I know somebody who went back 3 times.
Wow.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they're going to have blackfish, roast breadfruit, callaloo soup, ground provision. They're gonna have the saltfish and doughboy. I'm not sure what that is, but that sounds good as well. Their menu sounds really good, and so on and so forth. I could go on and on. Of course, St. Kitts and Nevis will be there with their saltfish and dumpling and saltfish and ground provision and cornmeal and stuff like that. So
any oil down is going to be there from Grenada?
Yes, Grenada will have their oil down.
Because last year I went to the Grenada booth to look oil down and I didn't get any.
We didn't have Grenada last year.
Grenada wasn't there last year, but I think they were there the previous year.
The first year, yes, they came the first year.
The first year I remember going there to look some oil down and they didn't have any.
Oh, that's unfortunate because people love the oil down. Yes. And then we are going to have some entertainment. DJ Zimba will be there entertaining us, and Honeybee's string band. We love string bands, so we're happy to have them on board. The Garlic and the Upper Level Band, and we'll have several cultural performances. We'll have cooking, the food demonstrations, so we're going to have Chef Michael Henville.
Could you stick up in? We have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark. Hello? Caller, you're live on the mark.
Hi, good evening. I would like to
My friend, good evening. How you doing? You're calling from all the way in the United Kingdom. It's good to hear you.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Evelyn, I called to congratulate Dennis here and Gail on the amount of activities, and also I'm hoping that the multicultural festival go with a bang as
usual, yes.
As usual. And Mrs. Evelyn, I'd like to congratulate you and your government for putting the light at hard time.
Yes.
Right now, hard time is about the cricket. Congratulate Trev and his group for continuing with the cricket at hard time and upgrading it and put it in a big way.
Yes.
And continue doing the job that you guys are doing for the island of Nevis.
Of course. It's so good to hear you. And how are you doing, Wise?
Well, I'm not too bad. I'm coping. I will be here in a few weeks anyhow.
Nice.
But no, I'm all right.
Good. How is the weather?
Oh Lord, it's
Cold
very,
still?
very, very, very cold.
You're serious at this time of the year?
Very cold and very hot.
Oh, it's cold and hot sometimes.
Very cold.
Okay. Wow.
Wise you'll soon be in paradise.
Wise, it's good to hear you, and you must give my regards to the madam. Okay?
Yeah, okay then. Okay then.
Thank you so much for calling, and we're gonna miss you for the we're gonna miss. I'm sure the community development is gonna miss you for the
Yes,
activity.
we will.
But thank you so much, and I know you're always supporting
Yes.
from a distance. So
Yes,
continue
yes.
to root for your department, and thank you so very much.
I was trying to get here, but circumstances was always beyond my control.
We totally understand.
I will come at a later date.
We totally understand. We totally understand. Okay, so thank you very much. And of course, since Mr. Herbert would have called in, we can actually open the line. So if there's anyone who is out there who would like to call in and ask Miss Smithen or Miss Greenaway any question relating to community development, relating to the huge activity that they will be having at the MGR Park on the 30th of May. I have the date correct?
Yes.
Saturday the 30th of May. You can call in, you can ask a question, anything related to that activity, anything related to community development, anything related to the community centers. We have the powers that be who are here who can answer your questions. So our lines are open: 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. And so we're going to continue the discussion, but if you want to call in and ask a question, please feel free to call in and we will accommodate your call. So Ms. Smitten, let's continue with what you were discussing regarding the multicultural food fair that's happening at the MGR Park on Saturday the 30th of May.
Yes. It was good hearing you, Wise. So as I was mentioning, we're going to have the entertainment including Honeybee's String Band, Garlic and the Upper Level Band. We're going to have two food demonstrations, one where a lady will be showcasing how to make the cassava bread, and Chef Michael Henville will also be showcasing making a dish from the breadfruit. We'll have several artisans and agro-processors, so we'll have Val's Delight, and she'll have her local wines, jams, and that's Ermine Hendrickson. We'll have Shabazz Organics, that's Banky, and he'll have a variety of mangoes and jelly water on sale, so if you need any jelly water to refresh yourself. Llewellyn's, he'll be there with his candy, locally produced candy and pepper sauce, and he has a wide variety of pepper sauces to try. Native Radiance, iQueens, Gail can touch on iQueens. She sells locally produced ice cream and stuff like that.
iQueens, you said?
iQueens, right.
Queen. She's from out of St. Kitts.
Yes.
She sells her ice cream is really, really good. Everything from organic, right? And she makes like salsa. She makes lemongrass ice cream. I'm so in love with the lemongrass ice cream.
Anything but with lemongrass flavor, I love.
Nice. Mystic Vibes, Moore's Flavors, and so much more. We have several other vendors, too numerous to mention. We'll have a kids zone with face painting. There'll be a petting area, and fish will be on sale as well to view and purchase. We'll have beer drinking competition, watermelon eating competition, sack racing, three-legged race, lime and spoon, and there'll be lots of prizes to be won. And I'm going to briefly go over the sponsors soon, because they're the ones who make these prizes possible as well.
Absolutely.
And before you go, don't forget the Hammond demonstration.
Hammond making demonstration. Then we'll have the domino competition.
I hope you got permission from the
Yes,
police.
we make, I did make
I
sure.
don't want anybody to get arrested.
Yes, we did. And it's
I
not
don't
going to
want
be
anybody
any,
to get arrested
they will
on
not be
that
for
day.
sale, please.
Okay.
It's just a little tiny, you know, you're not going to get a bottle or anything like that. It's just something to show. So just
Are you at liberty to discuss who is going to be demonstrating this Hammond thing?
no,
Because you know the best Hammond makers are from Hanley's Road.
Brown Hill,
I
please.
know you were
Oh
going to say
my.
that. I know Miss Greenaway was going to say that. That's why I said Hanley's Road, because there's always this competition between Hanley's Road and Brown
And
Hill.
Brown Hill.
Right? Okay. We're not at liberty, so don't mention
No.
that.
Then we'll have the domino competition, and the prize is first place $1,000, second place $700, and third is $5. And I just want to thank Honorable Mark Premier Brantley, Honorable Eric Evelyn, yourself, and Nevis Community Development Steel Orchestra for sponsoring the domino competition, and you all made that possible for us to be able to host that sub-event. I want to quickly thank our sponsors, because without you it wouldn't be possible. Of course, the Ministry of Social Empowerment led by Honorable Janelle Nisbet, and I also want to highlight the Assistant Secretary D. Michelle Liebert Rollins for your support.
Hold a sec, we have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Good night, Honorable.
How are you doing,
How
sir? How are you doing? I have
Not
your
too
friend
bad,
here with I have your friend here with me this evening.
I'm so glad to hear your lady. Tonight.
I remember you called in last year and you said you love to hear her, right?
Yeah, man. I hear the good things that they're doing and taking part. But I have to tell you, man, when I was up there for 2024 for Culturama and the steel pan, I was impressed to see some little one
Yes.
playing the steel pan.
Mm-hmm.
And I have two cousins out of Captain Gong, two little boys as play steel pan also.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like how you all start your event early and come on the radio and let people know what's taking place in Nevis.
Right.
And I also have to tell you why so much of thing happening this month. But Evelyn, this is the best month. This is the best month. I make my birthday in this month.
Oh.
And a brother named Brother Manos from Nevis, living in Tatola, he's making his birthday this month. So this is the best month why.
So that's why so many things happening. They're celebrating you then. So when is your birthday? Is it gone already?
Yeah, that was on the 2nd.
Okay, well, belated birthday greetings. Well, you should be celebrating for the entire month, though.
So that's why I call in to tell you, man, this is the best month. That's why so much activities has happened in this month. But yeah, you know, I will be listening still. And ladies, keep up the good work.
Thank you. We appreciate
you.
it. And happy
All right.
belated birthday as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling. All right. All the best. Yes, so you can continue with
Yes.
with the sponsors now.
And it's funny because this month is Mr. Herbert's birthday as
Is
well.
that so?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, happy birthday. If
Yes.
it's not gone, if it's gone yet, belated. If it's to come, happy birthday in advance.
So our sponsors, we just want to thank you on behalf of the Department of Community Development. So we want to thank St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank, Amri Bakery, Bank of Nevis Limited, the St. Kitts Nevis Credit Union, Chills Beach Bar, Laws and Sons, Hamron Services, Flow, Digicel, Clifton Estate, Nevis Peak Brewery, Caribbean Lottery, TDC Group of Companies, Carrie Brewery, Royal Electronics, Nelson Spring, and I just want to and Honorable Spencer Brand, we want to definitely thank Honorable Minister Spencer Brand for also coming on board and sponsoring. And then for our domino competition, Honorable Mark Brantley, Honorable Eric Evelyn, and the Nevis Community Development Steel Orchestra. I also want to thank the different government departments who are assisting us. Department of Public Works, the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation, Department of Agriculture. We want to really thank you on behalf of the department, because you are assisting us and you're supporting us, and without you none of this would be possible. So we really want to thank all of you for your assistance. If by chance and mishap I forgot to mention anybody, it was not intentional, right? So we want to just thank all of you and those vendors who continue to come on board, and even our new vendors who came on board this year. We want to thank you for making the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival what it is and will be May 30th.
By the way, I noticed that you all started quite early in terms of advertising for the registration for vendors. This year, was there a registration fee?
Yes, there was
Okay.
a registration fee, 100 for food and beverage vendors and 75 for artisans.
Okay. How difficult it was though to attract vendors, including the persons who are coming to sell for the different countries? How difficult it was to get them on board from the onset?
Well, for some it wasn't difficult at all. Of course, there were one or two that we would have experienced some challenges, especially because we are trying to diversify the event. So we would have had to probe one or two, and then some persons we reached out to, and they would have heard about the festival and they came on board. Luckily for us, the festival has continued to grow. So from last year, I realized there were some vendors who were hesitant, and when they see how the event went and how it was, they came on board without hesitation.
I noticed as well last year, and I was quite impressed with the way some of the booths were decorated. Very impressed, eye-catching. Is that something that you encouraged them to do, or did it from their own initiative?
We encourage them to do that. The funny thing is we had a vendors meeting today, and I did stress on that. We want them to showcase their culture, and part of that is making sure your booth is decorated with whatever flags and whatever you have from your country, and where they can't, we fill in and assist, because we know some persons may not necessarily be able to do certain things, so we try to help where we can as well to make sure there was a year, I think the first year we had to borrow a flag. I think it was last year we had to borrow a flag from somebody to assist with one of the booths. So we try to help where we can to make sure that the overall experience is grand, and so that's something that we do encourage them to do every year.
I was particularly impressed with Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago last year. So I hope that they're listening, and I hope that they will be coming out and showcasing that how creative they are in terms of decorating their booth again this year. And I'm really hopeful that the other booth owners can do that, and it gives a lift to the event. So I'm really hopeful. I said I was impressed with Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica last year, and so I hope I could be impressed with many more countries this year. You seem to have a lot more countries on board this year, and so I'm hopeful that they can take the lead from what we saw done for Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, and they can also do that as well.
Yes. And the entry fee is just a mere $5, and you get such an amazing experience for $5. So I'm encouraging all of you who are listening to come out on May 30th for the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival. There will be a lot in store for you, and I forgot to mention, once you enter, you stand a chance to win something, because we're going to be raffling various items throughout the day, compliments, Nevis Peak Brewery, as well as the Clifton Estate rum. So you'll get a chance to win something, and then the activities and competitions that we have, they are open to all, because we want to have that community participation active. We want fun. We want persons to have fun, and apart from eating and listening to music, we want that engagement. So if you think you can eat watermelon the fastest, or you can do the three-legged race, come on board. And when you hear lime and spoon, it will be fun. Let down your hair. It's a Saturday, and it will be fun. And so I'm hoping that all of you come out and take part. You support the vendors, and you support the various activities, so that we can all have a really fun time.
Now, what time does this event start, and what time does it end?
12 to 9. We're aiming at ending at 9 o'clock.
And so, of course, and the good thing about it is that most people in Nevis don't cook on Saturdays.
Exactly.
Right? So it's an excellent opportunity for them to come and try the different foods from the different countries. Some persons like to be adventurous when it comes to eating, and so I'm sure over the years I've seen persons, they're trying things for the first time, and I'm sure people will be willing to come back again to try things again for the first time for this year. And so I am encouraging persons as well. I'm joining with the ladies here in encouraging persons to come out in their numbers on the 30th of May at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park. Of course, that is such a picturesque area to have this event. So I'm really hoping that persons can come out in them. I'm very confident because I was impressed with the turnout last year. And I'm sure you were as well.
Yes.
I think the event has grown tremendously over the past 2 years, and I am really hoping that we can see a bumper crowd again this year. I was really blown away last year with the turnout and how quickly the food went.
Yes, the food went really quickly.
Okay, great. Now, you said that the registration was closed quite a bit. How many vendors do you have?
So we have, for food and the booths, we have about 19.
19?
Yes. No, I think it's 20. 20, sorry. And then we have about 10, 11 artisans, agro-processors and persons who would be selling like various locally produced products and stuff like that. We'll also have Digicel there with their area, and you can go, and if you are interested in any of their products and services, you can speak to a rep at Digicel. They'll also be giving out top-ups and stuff from the different competitions that we are going to have. So we're excited to see, and of course Flo as well will be there giving out the top-ups as well for those who win the various competitions. So we do have a lot more vendors than we had in the past, and it's continuing to grow. Unfortunately, persons would have reached out after the fact, but we don't have enough space. We don't want to after
people are always late, eh?
Yes, and very late. So for those who are listening, look out. We have our department's page. And Comms Unit, we want to thank Patrick Howell as well, because they usually assist us with promotion and stuff. Look out on our department page, because we will be starting registration early again, just to make sure that everything lines up and we can move into promotion, because we can't produce certain information unless we have all our countries and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why we try to push for registration early.
Anything in particular that is different this year that persons should come to experience?
Well, I would say the Hammond making competition, the Hammond making, sorry, demonstration, yes. But we the activities, the competitions, those we realized were a hit, and so we wanted to expand on that. There was one other competition we're thinking about doing. I don't know if that will pan out, so I didn't want to really say it yet. But we the little competitions that we have here and there throughout, those would be a great addition. So we wanted to expand that and encourage more persons to come and have fun and win some prizes. So that's what we're really aiming for this year, to have more light competitions where persons can have fun, let down their hair, and just relax, and even if you don't win, at least you had the experience and the laughter, because there were lots of laughter last year, especially during the sack racing competition. The funny thing is, people were very shy before, so when the host would have announced that we're having that, nobody showed up. But then we tried again, and I had to go to the front with the bag in my hand, and persons started to come, and then you saw the crowd, and then persons participating, and we had about three of those. So we want to do that. We want it to be a fun afternoon and community spirit filled and that type of thing.
Be a drinking competition.
Oh yes, there be a drinking competition too.
Wow, sounds like real fun. Over the past 2 years, though, I'm sure generally, because when you're having an activity and it's relatively new, you would want to interact with members of the public, persons who attend the event. What has the feedback been like from persons who attend? Not necessarily those who are taking part in terms of the booth, persons who from the different countries, but persons who attend the event. What has the feedback been like overall?
So the feedback has been positive, really good. Persons were happy to see that they were able to try the different foods. One of the things that we would have noticed, though, is persons wanted to try almost everything, but at a more affordable cost. So one of the things we would have stressed on and encouraged the vendors is to have like sample sizes, so that persons can be able to try the different foods all across the board.
Okay, we have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live on the mark.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, I want to know what time this thing is going to happen.
It's happening on the Saturday, the 30th of May. That is the final Saturday in May, and it's happening at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. It starts from 12 noon and it's going down until 9 p.m. All right?
Yeah, I'm here, Plat. I don't plat up here.
You're going to plat up here before you come?
Yeah.
Okay, we make sure you come, eh?
Man, I'm going there.
You going there? Good.
Especially the brown little thing.
Especially with the brown. What the brown little thing be?
Man, he's doing something.
All right, thank you very much, Pooch Yaibal. Of course, he must have heard about that Brownhill thing. All right. So yes, we were talking about the feedback from members of the public, Miss Smithon.
And also, yes, so generally the feedback has been positive, of course. So generally the feedback has been positive, and of course we would get like constructive criticisms and we go back to the drawing board and try to improve, because it's a new event and we want to improve, and nothing is going to be 100% perfect. So one of the things we would have asked the vendors to do is to make sure that they have sample sizes, and of course continue to decorate their booths, and we wanted to make sure that we have as many countries as possible, as much representation from different countries as possible, and I think that we would have delivered on that. And so hopefully persons, when they come, they enjoy everything, and we are open to receiving feedback and improving as years go on.
Fantastic. All right, listeners, if you're just joining us, I have two guests with me this evening, Miss Denise Smithon and Mrs. Gail Greenaway. They're from the Department of Community Development, and this is Community Development Month, and they're having this they're having numerous activities throughout the month, but the major activities happening on May the 30th is a Saturday, and of course it's happening at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. We have another 19 minutes also to go, so if there's anyone who is out there who want to call in to ask them a question, whether about the event on the 30th, or any event or any activity or any question regarding community development, feel free to do so. The ladies are going to be with me here until 10 o'clock, and so we're going to continue to discuss community development and what is happening there. Now, earlier on, we have been discussing a lot about the multicultural food fair, but earlier on you spoke about a breadfruit festival and a breadnut festival. Let us hear a little bit more about both of these events and when they're going to be taking place.
So the Bread Nutter Fair, that is going to be on June 5th, that's Friday, June 5th, at the Pond Hill Community Center, and it's going to be from 10 to 4. And so what persons can expect is to try anything bread nut. We have different things that will be available. Curried breadfruit in coconut milk. Not breadfruit on my mind. Bread nuts in coconut milk, bread nut cake, bread nut cinnamon rolls, bread nut ice cream, bread nut chowder, bread nut soup, bread nut balls, and so much more. It's going to be a bread nut affair, and we are hoping that persons come out and support. And as I said, it's going to be at the Pond Hill Community Center from 10 to 4, and that's Friday, June 5th. And then we have the Bands Got Breadfruit.
But by the way, the bread nut affair, bread nut is something that we don't see a lot of now. You notice that you don't see a lot of bread nut around right now. You see a lot. Breadfruit is very, very popular.
Yes.
But I don't know what is happening with the bread nut, because bread nut is very easy to propagate. You just plant a seed and it grows. Actually, it's easier to propagate than breadfruit.
Yes.
But you see a lot of, wherever on Nevis you go, you see breadfruit trees.
Yeah.
But I don't see much bread nut trees around. I think the few of them are concentrated up in the Rollins area. Do you normally have a problem in accessing bread nut when you have the bread nut affair?
So last year we would have, like closer to the event, we had a challenge, but we were able to manage. We called around and we found persons who have, and so we were able to get. And this year we made sure we started early and made sure the persons who have bread nut, put those aside or let us know, and we will get those. So we acknowledge that there's a bread nut, not necessarily a problem, but we realize that I don't know if it's a case where people are clearing their lands and the bread nut trees are disappearing, or is this just a case where there's an issue with the bread nut trees? I know my mother has a bread nut tree, and I just see one bread nut on it sometimes, not like how you would see a breadfruit tree with plentiful a breadfruit tree with plentiful breadfruit, but maybe in a year or so we can collaborate with the Department of Agriculture and
Yes.
start like a bread nut planting something
Yeah.
to you know, last
We
year.
actually had quite a lot of bread nut plants at the Agri Expo this year, and I think persons normally purchase them.
Yes.
You know, so I am hopeful that in the near future we can see a lot more bread nut, because I said, for whatever reason, you know, breadfruit is very, very popular, but you hardly see bread nut trees.
Yeah.
And as I said, bread nut is so easy to propagate.
And I love bread nut. My sister definitely, Devine, she loves bread nut too. So that's something that we would definitely look into, and trying to incorporate, maybe having some plants for sale. That's something that maybe we could try to do, so that persons can
You're
get
right, you're right.
some the bread nut trees and plant them. I'm not sure how long they take to start bearing though, but hopefully they would be able to get some produce maybe within 3 to 5 years from those trees. So that's something that we can look into for this year, if not next year.
I was at the bread nut affair last year, and I did try quite a number of the dishes. They were quite good. I think I tried the bread nut ice cream as well. It was quite good.
Yes.
You know, and since we're talking about things happening at Pond Hill, let me say good evening to Veronica Brandy. Good evening, Veronica. Hope you are feeling okay. Continue to get better. All right. All right. And so you were talking about the bread nut affair. So let's talk about the breadfruit festival now.
I'm going to turn that over to Gail.
Okay, so our breadfruit festival is coming up in June the 20th. And
So both I and June.
yes,
Okay.
June the 20th, we're going to have our breadfruit fest, and we normally start at 12 and finish maybe about roughly at 7, right? Where we have breadfruit peeling competition. We just bought it in last year.
Okay.
The breadfruit peeling competition, and it was a bang. So we have to bring it in again this year. We have the breadfruit ice cream that sell off like crazy. And then we have the breadfruit ice pop. And I want to thank the sponsor that come on board with us 2 years ago, and that's the Hamilton Bank. Want to thank them very much for jumping on board with us, and we really do appreciate it. We also have breadfruit cheesy, breadfruit balls, breadfruit pancakes. So come on out on June the 20th and experience everything breadfruit.
I normally go to the breadfruit festival because I love breadfruit. I have to say that I don't love bread nut as much as I love breadfruit. But I love breadfruit, you know, so anything breadfruit I love. The breadfruit pancakes are always really, really delicious, you know. But I mean, when we talk about breadfruit, it has hurt my heart sometimes when I see so much breadfruit going to waste here on the island of Nevis. And the breadfruit festival, I think it's an excellent opportunity for you to introduce more of, as well, you're doing that, but I personally would like to see a lot more young persons coming to the breadfruit festival. I don't know what the experience has been like over the years in terms of young persons coming, but you notice a lot of young persons nowadays don't eat breadfruit, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that you are able to do so many different things from the breadfruit, they're able to come and taste the different things that you can make from the breadfruit, and I think it would inspire them more to consume breadfruit. You know?
That's true.
So I don't know what you can do to encourage more young persons out to the breadfruit festival. I don't know I don't know how many young persons normally come to the breadfruit festival. I know normally it's the older heads who would come to the breadfruit festival. But breadfruit is something that we need to promote more and to get more young persons to consume it. I know they would eat the breadfruit chips.
Yes.
Of course, our department would make the breadfruit chips, and the breadfruit chips are normally available in the supermarkets. But I personally would like to see more young persons getting a taste of all of these different breadfruit dishes. Because, of course, you know, when breadfruit is in, as we would say locally, they're banging dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I mean, when they're scarce now, persons are looking all over and can't find any breadfruit. You know. And I think for the past 2 years you all had a challenge because during the Breadfruit Festival there were not a lot of breadfruit that were in. Are you foreseeing another challenge again this year?
No, because we usually gauge the crop and see when it's coming in, and so we don't usually. We have had challenges in the past. There was a year when I don't know if it was lack of rain or climate change, and we had to do it in August. We did it in August once because the crop did not come in time. So sometimes it depends on the rainfall and the climate and so on. But we foresee that we would have adequate breadfruit. There are 2 types of breadfruit. I learned that some time ago. Well, variety,
types.
not necessarily
Yeah,
types, but there's the yellow and the white. So sometimes we find that persons who are assisting us, they say, "Oh, I want the yellow one. I don't want the white."
You serious?
The yellow breadfruit
So it's distinct. You can actually notice.
you will notice,
the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So especially when they're making like ice cream and the cheeses, they will tell you they want the yellow breadfruit, and so
you're bringing a new dimension to things tonight. So do you have the yellow breadfruit and the white breadfruit specific to certain areas on Nevis? For example, would Barnescott have both the yellow and the white? Would Rollins have both the yellow and the white?
Yeah, I think so. Because,
but how do you identify them? If you just see a tree with breadfruit, how will you know whether it's yellow or white?
we don't know until we cut it open and realize. But I honestly did not even know that was the case until a couple persons pointed it out to me, because we tap into persons who are very familiar with making items from the breadfruit, and they would tell you, "I don't want this kind, I want this kind." And some years ago when I heard, so I said, "What? A breadfruit, a breadfruit?" When the person told me, "No, they want the yellow breadfruit," and the yellow one apparently has a more sweeter, is more like sweeter, and it's good for like
Gail
making
sound like
ice
she's
cream.
the expert on the breadfruit.
Yes.
No, because my husband made the roast breadfruit and red herring.
And what breadfruit he used?
Sometimes he used the yellow head, and sometimes he used the white.
For the roast breadfruit,
Just
I prefer
depends.
the white. It tastes nice with the white breadfruit. But I don't know if it's the I don't know if it is dependent on where they grow, that one come out yellow and one comes out white, or it's just variety. But I was told that there's a yellow and a white breadfruit.
And of course, some breadfruit are more elongated and some
Yes.
more round as well.
Yes.
I don't know if the yellow and the white is there's a difference in shape. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because to be honest with you, as I said, I'm a lover of breadfruit, but I didn't realize there's a yellow and there's a white.
Yeah.
I thought breadfruit is breadfruit.
Yeah, but I'll investigate and we'll do some research and we'll get that information out soon, because that's something that we want to educate the general public on, in terms of the variety.
Well, maybe that is something that you can also actually have on display during the Breadfruit
Yes,
Festival.
all of that.
The yellow versus the white, and just have them boiled. Not made into any particular dish, so people can actually see the difference. See the difference in terms of the color.
Yes.
Last year with the peeling competition, we had the yellow. I really didn't know it was the yellow until when Honorable Alexis started peeling it. I said, "But that's a yellow thing that you have."
Yeah. He took part in the peeling competition.
Did he win?
No, he tried.
So who was the winner?
Llewellyn Clark.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Llewellyn did tell me he won the competition last year.
So we'll see if
Llewellyn brought his knife.
Yeah.
he was equipped with his tools.
You're right, because actually I left there before they had the breadfruit peeling competition, and I remember Llewellyn telling me, "You left too early because I won the competition." So I have to try to make sure when I come this year that I stay for the breadfruit peeling competition.
Yes.
And see if Llewellyn is going to defend successfully this year.
And I think Honorable Alexis is going to win him this year.
You think so?
So he don't come hard next year, so we'll see, and come prepared. He blamed the knives, so
Well, he should bring his own.
Yeah, exactly. So he gonna bring his own, and we'll see what happens.
Well, if he can perform as good as he performed on the grill on Sunday, he might win, because he did an excellent job with that fish.
Okay.
This past Sunday at the Malcolm Gishard Park with the grilling.
Wow.
You know, so Alexis, if you can perform as good as you did on the grill, you're going to win the breadfruit competition next month in Barnes, because I'm coming to root for you. Okay.
Cheering for him also.
Listen, listeners, we are running out of time. We just have another 6.5 minutes to go. Time went by very quickly. We are here with Miss Denise Smith and Miss Gail Gridaway. We have been discussing what is happening for Community Development Month, what will be happening for the main event that's happening on the 30th of May. And so since we're running out of time, Miss Smith, what I can do is to quickly let you go through quickly what is happening on the 30th of May. In terms of the event, and I will give you a chance to remind us of who the sponsors are as well, because I know the sponsors are very, very important.
Yes. Okay. So on the 30th of May, we'll be having the Nevis Multicultural Heritage Festival, and that's at the Malcolm Gishard Park. And some of the activities that we have will be the food demonstration. We'll also have several competitions, and we're encouraging the general public to come out and take part in those competitions as well.
What the food demonstrations will be?
Sorry, so the food demonstrations, we'll have a cassava bread making demonstration.
Oh, nice.
And we'll have Chef Michael Henville. He will be making an item from the breadfruit.
Okay.
The reason why we chose breadfruit is because, of course, the breadfruit festival is coming up, and we wanted to incorporate it somehow.
Right.
So, and it's a heritage festival, and breadfruit was a staple crop back then. That's what, you know, persons would have used to feed themselves, especially from where I am, from Barnes Gutter. And so we wanted to incorporate that. So we are encouraging you to come and take part in that. It will be good. Last year he did churros. I think it was breadfruit churros, and persons really liked it. He made over 100 samples, so there will be enough samples for, I wouldn't say everybody, but once you come, you should be able to try something. Right. So come on out and take part in that. We'll also have the domino competition. I really want to stress some more on the domino competition. The prizes are first place 1,000, second place 7, and third place 5. The registration fee is $40 for a team of 2. And we are encouraging persons to have a standby so that the game can continue in the unlikely event that somebody cannot make it, stuff like that. You can register now at the Department of Community Development, or you can register on the day, but you have to register before the game begins. And I want to thank Mr. Keith Herbert. He's the person who is assisting our department as a committee member in spearheading the domino competition. We really want to appreciate you, so I want to shout out Mr. Herbert for willingly coming on board, and he will be assisting us with the domino.
He's doing wise part, right?
Yes. Yes. So yes, Wise would have recommended him, and he has been doing a fantastic job in helping us organize that. And now, while I'm on the domino competition, I want to thank Algin Newton, because he is also assisting us with the domino tables, and so we want to I really appreciate that as well. Then we would have the different competitions, and I want to thank Flo and Digicel and the other sponsors, TDC, who will be sponsoring the game. So you can expect to win perhaps $100 top-up from Digicel or Flow, $100 reloadable gift card from TDC, and stuff like that. So the prizes are lucrative and they're good, so we want you to have fun and get the opportunity to win some, go home with something.
Also scratch off from Caribbean Lottery.
Scratch off some Caribbean Lottery. Okay. So you might become a millionaire overnight. You never know. So come on out and you'll get a chance to win something. Yes, so we want to thank Caribbean Lottery as well for coming on board, for sponsoring that. Now in terms of the cultural acts, we'll have Moko Jumbi, we'll also have Cakewalk, and we'll also have the Honeybees String Band. We're excited. Honeybees was actually with us the first year as well. Yes. And so we're happy to have them back again. Persons look forward to hearing them perform. They're really good, and I'm expecting the crowd to be jamming along with them. Okay. And so that will be very, very exciting as well. And then we'll have other cultural acts, and then the evening will be, the activity will end with a live performance from Garlic and the Upper Level Band. And we want you to let down your hair and, you know, boogie woogie, as they call it. Enjoy yourself. it's a community festival and we want you to have fun. So with the string band and with garlic, I think that would be a good way to end the
and remind them
activity.
it's a small entrance fee.
Yes.
Just a mere $5, just $5, and that will get you so much, and you will get the opportunity to go home with something, but you'll get an experience of a lifetime. And we also will have our Queen, Miss Culture Queen, who will be there with the national wear, looking all beautiful, and you can get to take a picture with her, because we wanted the national wear to be on display, and so that's our goal, is to have her there, and she will be interacting with you, and so take a picture and have that memory that will last a lifetime. So that's the goal of that as well. I want to thank our sponsors quickly. And I want to first thank our ministers, Honorable Premier Mark Brantley, Honorable Eric Evelyn, Honorable Spencer Brand. We really want to thank you for coming on board. We want to thank Ministry of Social Empowerment, especially led by Honorable Janelle Nisbet. I really want to thank her for her support and dedication to our department and supporting the Heritage Festival, because it has continued to grow and she has continued to support us. So I really want to thank her as well. And I want to thank our various sponsors, St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank, Amri Bakery, Bank of Nevis Limited, St. Kitts Nevis Cooperative Credit Union, Chills Beach Bar and Grill, Laws and Sons, that's Laws Bookstores. I want to thank Hamron Services, which is managed by Ron Daniel, Flo, Clifton Estates, Caribbean Lottery, Digicel, TDC Group of Companies, Caribbean Brewery, St. Kitts Nevis Caribbean Brewery, Royal Electronics, Nelson Spring, and we want to also thank the Nevis Island Administration for all your support.
Thank you so very much. That was Miss Denise Smith, and of course we've had her along with Miss Gail Greenaway here from the Department of Community Development, promoting their month of activities and their special activity on the 30th of May. We are about to close out, and just before I close out, I just want to say good evening to Miss Florence Brown and family up there in Rollins, extending condolences to you on your loss. May the Lord bless you at this point. And so it's been my pleasure hosting On The Mark for this evening. And of course, we know that there's a rebroadcast tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So tune in again tomorrow. Of course, you know, it's always so good that you have to listen twice. So on behalf of my guest, I'm the Honorable Eric Evelyn. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening. God bless.
Of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Nevis Broadcasting Company Limited or its advertisers.